can sell some stuff. Gossip for a bit into the village. We can sell some stuff. And bring news that old Pagos is safe. And hopefully get in their good graces a little. You know. If they'll have me. Alright, we're at the tunnel. Now let's see. What we need to do is gather supplies for our traps. Animal pen. Here's stiff. Consider putting a trap here. Look around. Tie the monster claws to a branch and construct a wood trap. You could conveniently hide it next to the entrance. Once something runs into the trigger mechanism, it won't have time to dodge the hit. Thanks to the tools you found, it won't take more than half an hour. You have enough claws, cords, and wood to build 2 wood traps in the entire tunnel. Alright, let's get to it. Back to a large skeleton. Can't set up a trap here. Can't take anything from a large skeleton. Leave the chamber. What about the sleeping chamber? Put a trap here. Could crush the monster with a deadfall trap. You could hang the load right next to the entrance with the help of the soggy rack and make it collapse with a pull of the rope. You can't be sure if such most wood would be effective at hurting anything. Even with the tools you found, it will take you more than an hour. You have enough supplies to build 2 deadfall traps in the entire tunnel. Let's see where else we can build one. Leave the chamber, move forward, and put a trap here. You could tie the monster claws to a branch, construct a wood trap. Won't be easy to camouflage the trick and record in darkness. We'll have enough supplies to build 1 more wood trap. Head to the stream. Put a trap here. Make a few foothold traps to slow down the undead. You can make a few deeper holes in the more static parts of the water. Surround them with sticks. It should be enough to catch one's foot, and with only for a few breaths. Since you, do they even have breaths? Since you already know where to find some decent wood, you can get this done in a few minutes. Let's get to it. Okay. Deeper into the tunnel. Path forward is blocked. Cover the trap here. Could crush the monster with a deadfall trap. I could tie the monster claws to a branch and construct a wood trap. They would have to come through here anyway. Let's see. To the dining chamber. I could break the barrels and cover the floor with slippery liquid. It should contain more than enough old drink, but unless you trust that your own shell can manage on the difficult surface, it may hurt you more than the undead. No, I got this. Let's get to it. Doesn't take long, but the stench is gut-wrenching. Moldy ales and cider spill all over the floor, making both sticky and slippery. Wash your blade with the water skin. Ugh. Droplets to the ground and the teeth like stalagmites. Back to the dining room. Go to the armory. Can't set up a trap here. Tiny room. Can't set up a trap there. Leave the room. Leave the room. Stalactites. Trap here. Full foothold traps to slow down the undead. Tie the monster claws to a branch, construct a whip trap. Okay, hold on. Enter the main tunnel. Trap here. The whip trap here might be best. Head toward the cave-in. To the storeroom. Try and set up trap there. Alright. Whip trap it is. You hit the monster's claws, could kill you on the spot. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Head toward the cave-in. Now head back. Put a trap here. A few foothold traps to slow them down. Alright, let's get to it. Dining room. Main tunnel. Put a trap here. Deadfall trap. Okay, that got me a little dirty, but my appearance isn't really a problem here. Dining chamber, main tunnel. Let's follow the tunnel north. Your slow pace only makes the long tunnel more exhausting. Put my hands around my mouth and let out a shout. Oh, it's now or never, right? Take a deep breath. Hey, you come and get me? I will purge this land of you. I come in peace. Would it be smart enough to even know that this is a trap? How about we just threaten them, just in case? I will purge this land of you! The creatures don't scream or wail, neither make threatening gestures, nor cast angry glances. You hear only the rat of their bones as they hit against the rocky floor. The empty eye sockets of the naked skulls reveal nothing. The 4 skeletons wear a few rags, and 2 of them still have scraps of flesh on their limbs. Their weapons are unconvincing, simply digging tools and spears tipped with rocks, but you notice the speed and confidence of their movement. The one in the back is holding a wooden lantern, while another one is carrying a fresh torch, but the group doesn't pay much attention to their steps. Okay. No, I wouldn't face them here. Run toward the door behind me. You jump over the cord stretched above the floor, but after one of the undead triggers it, it gets hit only with the tip of the branch, not too forcefully. You glance behind, and while the creature needs to get back on its feet, it's still going. Okay. Run into the chamber. You jump over the foothold traps awkwardly, but the undead don't realize what's happening. After one of them sinks to the hollowed plank, the others come to a halt, helping it out. It's your opportunity to act. Can't dodge a shot from my crossbow now. It's true. Where do you aim? Ooh, the stalactite above it. When am I ever gonna chance to do this again? The undead has no time to escape. The massive spike pierces its skull and reaches the thorax. Somehow, it still shuffles forward, giving you an empty yet hungry look. Well, I was hoping that would completely eliminate him. Okay, run to the dining chamber. With a few steps, you hear the rattling of bones. The undead hit the ground, though their skulls show no concern. They get up slowly, but you still have a few moments to turn against them. Alright, reload my crossbow. While you're strung into it, getting it done before the undead reaches you. Leave the chamber. Lead the undead to the short corridor. The door has no lock, you can't keep them away. But they have to enter one at a time. Alright. Might as well use this opportunity. You manage to surprise it with your fierce attack, cutting off its arm with a confident thrust. Then step away, unable to swing your blade in such a limited space. While the undead leans away for a few moments, it doesn't take long for it to straighten up again. Oh, shit, I keep running. You pull the cord and drop the sharp rocks on an undead skull, crushing it and making its owner collapse. The loose bones of the first undead scatter over the floor. Right, 3 more? Run toward the stream. Maybe we should... Alright, I'll shoot them. I'm running out of traps. Depending on the undead's movement and how much time and space it has to dodge it, it may be difficult to hit it with a quarrel. Also, you may have no more opportunities to load your weapon. No, I will. There's a trap coming up. Aim for the head. Quarrel pierces through the forehead and stays inside the skull, and while the undead leans away for a few moments, it doesn't take long for it to straighten up again. Should not have aimed for the head. Turn toward the stream. You slow down slightly, making sure to avoid all the foothold traps, and the undead spurt forward, but not for long. After one of them sinks into the bottom of the pond, the others come to a halt, helping it get up. It's your opportunity to act. Alright, reload the crossbow. Run up the tunnel. You keep running, gasping for air. Let's do this again. Raising my crossbow. Not the head this time. Aim at the leg. Quarrel shatters it completely. The second undead hits the ground silently. Alright. There's two more. Head back to the crossroads. You don't have much time. You either leave the tunnel or enter a side corridor. If you choose the latter, you won't have an option to turn back. I never had an option to turn back in the first place, did I? I don't think I... Did I set up anything in this sleeping chamber? Alright, animal pen. You jump over the triggered cord away from the undead sight. The powerful hit in the chest sends it back, and you hear a loud crack. You have hardly enough space to swing your weapon. Run to the skeleton of a beast. Would I have more space there? No, I'm ready to face the undead. Both you and the skeleton have time to take a proper stance, filling the chamber with thuds of your boots and bones. With or without flesh, your target blocks and dodges, making you fight as if you're facing a human, not a bloodthirsty beast. You swing your axe with a speed and confidence your opponent can't match. After just a few moments, you, unscathed, leave a pile of bones on the ground, cut and crushed. Calm down your breath and listen to the droplets of water. Nothing else runs at you. Alright, well, right now I'll just focus on getting out of here. I'll decide what to do with the corpses after I leave the tunnel. Gentas are in the short grass with little enthusiasm. Well, you probably won't know what I'm saying, but they just beat 4 undead. Maybe the right time to take care of the corpses. Picking up the bones won't take you much time, but the funeral traditions are rather demanding. You need to chop and gather enough wood to form a big pile somewhere down the hill. Of course, the orthodox approach is not the only one possible. However those creatures used to be, that is their proper parting rites. It may take me 3 hours or so, but I'll let them rest on the pyre. I'll spend an hour and a half breaking and crushing the bones and spread them around. In half an hour, I'll pick up all the bones and throw them around the hills. Let the wolves and deer do the work. Nah, I should do this properly. I didn't plan for anything else in the day anyway. We're spending a few more minutes in the darkness. We bring the 3 sacks filled with human remains to a small, regrowing clearing. Put on gloves, prepare some tools, and collect wood from the thicket in the tunnel, crudely splitting branches and logs. Covered with sweat, soil, and the scent of smoke, we observe the head-high flames. The bones are sticking out of the woods like hedgehog squills. They crack from the heat loudly. I should really wash my hands. Gross. That just snorts from boredom, then paws the ground. I'm sorry if this is boring you. And funeral rites. Oh, I don't actually want to enter the tunnel. Oh wait. This means that I can go to the very end, right? As far deep as I can. Follow the long tunnel north. Put away your light and sneak forward. The tunnel is quiet and dry. While the chamber is in shambles, you recognize its unusual furniture. Sharpened stakes, shield-like tables for crossbow users, empty spear axe. If necessary, could be the last line of defense for guards and diggers, surrounding any beast or bandit determined enough to reach this end of the tunnel. You're in front of a massive double-leaf gate, taller than 2 humans, made of bronze. You're not sure if a single shell can even move it. Search the room. While there's plenty of furniture to look under or push aside, the undead left little to no signs of their presence, as if they were idly standing for years. They might have been. A small pile of candles and another, much larger one of candles. Stumps don't explain why the walking corpses would use a light. You can grab a few of the candles for later. And let's look at the gate. It's made of sheets held by thick bars. The pictures impressed on the surface portray fishers and their catch sea monsters covered in nets, falling harpies and working diggers. While it's doubtful it's made of a material worthy of turning into blades, it's priceless. You look through the keyhole, observing the continuing path and the clear sky with ease. Despite the cobwebs, you take a deep breath of fresh air, then put 4 fingers inside. Oh, I do have this huge key. I wonder if we can give this as a gift to Traffic Mount. Metal, I mean. Easier said than done. Rotating the key alone makes you hold your breath, and as you work at pushing the leaves open, you huff and blow, taking breaks. After it's done, you wipe your sweaty forehead, giving a proud look at the light has now entered the chamber. Turn to the tunnel. Oh, this just means that we can we then leave then? I can't go through the bronze gate. Alright, well. I guess because of magenta. Now it's probably a good idea to go seek shelter. The fishers have returned to the village, but the work is far from being over. You see lights and smoke coming from the eastern part of the village, where the fish are being gutted and prepared for smoking. The guards instruct you not to disturb anyone after dusk, and tell you that you should visit Fulvia, who may have a room to spare. Some locals slow down to observe you, but whenever you meet their eyes, you find a challenge, not amity. Alright, well, we'll deal with these people in the morning. We got an hour 30. It's not to bother people, but I figured they would enjoy this news. She's building tiny houses from wooden blocks, connecting their roofs with bridge-like leather strips. Cheers, outsider. You'll probably be happy to know the tunnel in the south is open again. The undead are gone. As Ayuno shakes the table, her toy structure falls apart. Merely like that? You killed all of them awoken on your own? That was just 4 of them. After your nod, she looks at your axe and at your toys. Better tell our head woman about it, and I'll talk with the others. And we can move to some serious work in spring, but it would be better for us to do the groundwork before snow falls. She shuffles the wooden blocks and moves them into a single row. And if the tunnel is somewhat safe, could you take a closer look at it? Inspect the chambers? Report to me, and I'll ask one of my neighbors to give you an easier time. Do I get to choose which neighbor? Even though she seems to put no thought into it, the blocks are now ordered from the brightest to the darkest. I've explored the entirety of the tunnels already. After initial report, Ayuno comes up with one question after another, and while some of them are specific and significant, others are absurdly simple, as if she's making sure you're not lying to her. You don't know all the answers, but in the end she smiles at you, clapping her hands without a sound. With that, we can gather timber, rocks, and tools, and I already know which ones will be just perfect. Cheers, Roadwarden. If you want, I can ask one of my neighbors to repay your hard work, and not just once. Okay, free food to fill my belly. That'd be nice. That would be nice. A free room where I can spend the nights. Maybe 5 free repairs of my gambeson. I may be in need of a boat one day. No, it's fine. I don't need any favors. Just make sure to tell everyone what I did in very kind words. That would be nice, but it would also be nice to get some free nights. Yeah. Right, she starts to build a wall from her wooden blocks. I'll speak with Fulvia. She should have a room to spare. Perfect. Alright. Keeper doesn't acknowledge your arrival until you call her. After she leaves the dark tunnel, she says nothing, waiting patiently. Heard that you used to be quite a traveler. Have you seen anything interesting on the road leading through the heart of the woods? Who's been saying such silly things about me? Hearing your answer, she chuckles. When I was merely a young lass, that road was still wild, barring the wall and the watchtower. She shares a few memories with you, but often mentions how the roads change with every season, with keepers, such as her, being more like pathfinders than guides. For a few minutes, her stories get a bit dark, and are brought up with a warm smile. Trying to memorize her meandering takes you a bit of an effort, and every time we reach the tall woods, not the dark ones in the east, but the tall ones in the west, right? She vaguely describes a path leading south to an old orchard. That's one way of describing it. There were so many fruits and nuts and berries, and she sighs. Beasts! So we were picking whatever we could find, but chiefly the hazelnuts best in the north and with no worms in them. But stay merely a bit too long, right? And the monsters get to you from all sides. But without travelers, it must have already overgrown. Such a pity. The conversation goes on for a few more minutes, but you don't expect much of it. You used to. I bet the road to the orchard has changed, but maybe I can still find it by accident. The orchard. Trying to memorize your meandering takes you a bit of effort. Drake describes a path leading south to an old orchard. South. Every time we reach tall woods, not the dark ones in the east, but the tall ones in the west. In the west. Maybe something around here. Alright, well. Time to hit the hay. Okay. Now we should go see Severina, the head woman. Actually, let's go find that orchard first. The northern road. Can also check for fish. Nah, it's still empty. Ruined shelter. Let's try looking around. Orchard? You don't find it. Okay. Path. The beaten path in the hamlet is getting replaced by grasses, scrap by scrap, but you still identify the most common routes preserved by animals. From the gate to the door and from it to the dining area in the corner, but there are also many tracks behind the building, close to the bushes. Okay, bushes. Start with the bushes growing in the front yard, not finding anything unusual about them, but you stop for longer at those growing just next to the rock face. The spot here smells with urine, and as you move the leaves away, you find a dark cave behind them. You can say for sure what it hides, but you hear no water or draft. Wild plants are healthy. Cave. Who would have thought? Okay, I grab my axe, gloves, and get to chopping. There is a convenient way to simply grab the plants and cut, as the wood's frustratingly resilient and the volume of leaves limits your movements. With no proper tools at your disposal, you take little steps, remove the twigs with your knife, then bend the branches to limit their flexibility, and slice, twist, and pull. It takes almost half an hour, but you finally reach a point when you can get through while letting in enough light to take a good look. The cave gets shorter the deeper it goes, getting too small for most humans after just a few feet, but the entrance was used by someone as a hideout. There's a stool and trash inside, including a surprising amount of bones, and one thing that catches your attention, a bronze axe. You pick it up. The handle is eaten by rot, unpleasant to touch. Ugh. You break off a part of it without even trying, then lift the rest of the weapon by its cold blade. It's free of decorations, with tiny notches on it, still sharp blade, but you don't doubt it's a fine piece of artistry, even though inferior to the axe you purchased in Howler's Dell. Still, a decent bronze can endure centuries. With some sharpening, it may serve you as a backup weapon. Or you could sell it to someone right away. All you needed to put together is a set of tools. Maybe a trader would have some. Or a gift for the tribe. Remove the old handle and put the head with the rest of my bundles. Well, I still need a path. The orchard. Tall trees? Okay, well, let's just leave the hamlet. Maybe near the peat fields? Tiny vole, as brown as the short grass is washing its fur at the edge of a puddle. It jumps into it once it notices your arrival. Tircis is at the edge of the scarp, greeting you with a polite nod. The Keepers idly hang from his arms, resting on the ground. Well, since I'm already here, let's get rid of the undead in the village. Sting ointment. And withering dust. The poisonous yellow dust that withers the plants. Withers the plants. Alright, I'll buy this, and I'll buy this. Okay, maybe even further south. Oh, I should probably wash myself. Step away. Ah. It's damaged. Okay. Maybe around here? No. The cabin. That's the cabin. There's the building. No, no orchard. Maybe over here? A bunch of fish as large as your hand swimming right under the water surface. They're gathered around an extensive red stain that flows down the stream. Oh, that's right. It's painted plank. I built the signpost. The convenient remains of a shrub help you tie the plank above the ground. After a few minutes, you step away and take a look at the new sign. It may save someone's life. Rather see people building new paths, not hide them. I wonder if the days of iron nails are ever coming back. What soul would enter a path like this anywhere? Well, that was easy. Oh yeah, you may have saved someone's life. Let them peacefully choose the grass and join the sun's back, ready to take a nap. No naps yet, although we are. We got the watchtower. Okay. Alright, we'll sleep here. Figure out what we're doing tomorrow morning. Alright, we're foggy, so we can get something to eat. Now, Gale Rocks need to see Severina. Or Severina. You ascend the hill, the guard does his thing, follow him inside. Severina puts away writing instrument's size, but doesn't say anything. Her violet eyes are absent. Right, I've helped to cure the plague of old Pagos, but the seasons to come will be grim for them. What do you mean, cure the plague? She keeps her voice low, but the spark in her violet eyes betrays her other shark. She clears her throat and rests her elbows on the desk. Were they just getting cold? Try to tell her the entire story, and even though at first she stares at you from above her clasped fingers, she seems to get smaller and weaker each time you mention the old druid or the mysterious altar at the edge of the swamp. Finally, she stares at the wax tablet, defeated rather than joyful. May the right bless the kindness of that pagan, the perfumed guard announces briskly. As well as yours, Roadwarden. You've helped our old friends in need, where we thought there was no hope. Severina, he turns to the old woman, let's offer this stranger some help. Is there some label you struggle with in our village? He smiles at you. Appreciate the help. Free food to fill my belly, that's all I need. And be 5 for your prayers, my gamison? Nah, not really. Yeah, I don't need any favors. Just make sure everyone learns that I'm useful. Emma raises her head and sighs. You won't buy fish merely with fame. She starts slowly, then nods. I'll mention it soon to the council of our elders and head workers. Great. Honestly, I don't really need the rest. She glances at the exit. Oh, come on. Yeah, people of Old Pecos could use an old friend right now. Maybe some supplies for winter. She straightens up and frowns. I think you misunderstood the shape of our past lives, Sidhu. It is true that our forebears had strong ties even before Pagos started following the ride in their own river of fate. For years now, we've been at odds, contacting each other merely out of necessity. Ever since we were accused of robbing them, she suddenly pauses, glancing at her granddaughter and clearing her throat. Wrongly accused? We are not welcome at their gates, and I have no doubt they wouldn't help us either. Well, if you say so. Wrongly accused, huh? Oh, right. I put the gate key on her desk. The undead from your tunnel are gone. As she drags the key over the desk, it looks comically large in her tiny hand. Now would you look at that? She says to no one in particular, then looks you in the eyes. You face this threat for no good reason. I told you I was planning to work on the tunnel. Scratches the desk with the key, thinking, but I ain't going to deny that it opens some opportunities. My neighbors are going to appreciate your selfless efforts. He tries to push the key into the nearby bags, but is suddenly interrupted by the voice of the perfumed guard who speaks direct to you. I used to be the head of the garrison that kept the tunnel safe. He steps towards you, until it was left to itself 10 years ago. Against my advice, I don't care if you're a Roadwarden, an adventurer, or a drifter. Here's a reward. If our head woman ain't willing to reward your contribution, he reaches for the belt that holds his sickle sword, and Severina, with unmasked frustration, tells him to hold it. Don't get so dramatic. Here. She tosses a small pouch and it lands at the edge of the desk. 10 should be enough, considering you weren't asked to move as much as a finger. Scat and talk to Iona, our digger. She'll have some grand plans come to her soul. Maybe you'll manage to keep them on a leash. I already talked with her. I'm just here to leave the key with you. She glances at the exit. Yeah, I get it. I'll leave. That's not enough for you to trust me? Maybe I'll say hi to the people around town. Go to the bath man. Ooh, that's right. Get clean. I've got a boat maker. Tronius the gossip. I have some coin to spare. You'll get dinner from the cook. The man mostly fix old rags, she does. Maybe our bath man has something, but the armor won't sell much to an outsider. When you ask for their names, he answers slowly, trying to recover lost memories. That would be Porcia, Rufina, Aquila, and Thaddeus? Porcia, Rufina, Aquila, Thaddeus. Already forgot. Thaddeus. I feel like I've already talked to Thaddeus. Did I not? Thaddeus is behind the armory. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have. Rufina, I've talked to. Portia, Aquila. Portia, I haven't talked to. You head to the building that releases not only smoke, but also the smell of roasting meat and spices. In front of it, you find the sweating, wrinkled woman with a shaved head and a simple, rag-like band on her hips, and another one restricting her breasts tightly, as if any movement outside of her control would be too much of a risk to take. She doesn't even spare you a glance, too busy with mixing ingredients in bowls and cutting vegetables on wooden boards. Her eyes are focused, but whenever she tilts her head high enough for you to see her face, you spot her subtle yet challenging smile. Inside the building, you find another few people, most of them elders, as well as a large fireplace that's smoking a few dozen hanging fish. One of the cooks, currently scaling a fresh fish, notices you. He lowers his head, and with a bored voice addresses the woman. Portia, you have an outsider, you do? The woman turns towards you in the blink of an eye, standing on spread legs as if her shell can't spare you more than a single flinch. Didn't notice you there, stranger. You hungry? She reaches for a bowl, but stops suddenly. Right, we serve more than 100 stomachs, we do, so better give me a reason. That. Then why'd you ask? What kind of reason you want? Everyone works for their share. Join them. She points at the people inside the hollowed cave. After a brief moment, she shakes her head left and right and gets back to her work. I'll pay me a dragon, I guess. It'll land in the keep's chest. Your group cooks for the entire village? She grins towards you. Right, safer than fish and, you know, squeezes her revealed stomach, which is unusually flat. You notice how muscular her arm is. I move a lot, so I can eat a lot. She lets out a chuckle and moves a large basket of freshly cleaned apples inside the building. I have only a few years before my back gives up, but I've done enough to deserve my slower days. Alright, well, that's interesting. Back where I'm from, people just kind of cook for themselves. Three bunches of wild plants. Work for 2 hours. Why not? Help the cooks wash the dishes at cauldrons, keep the fire alive, cut vegetables, move the barrels, and bring water from the river. Then sit down at the table. You get a fresh pie, one of the dozens that were baked in the morning, and eat it with fresh plums on a lonely bench. Okay. The tailor. Anything I can buy the tailor. Offer repairs. Gossip. Nothing. I guess that's it for now. Oh no, what else is on the list? Convince the monks to trust me. I can get a secret. Ruined village. I need to get closer with old Pagos. For now, I would stay here. Maybe I can get some work. Get to the fishers? No, it's too late. Okay, well, maybe check for fish. I did. Set the trap up again. Now we can go back to Gale Rocks. Does Photios have anything? No. Okay. And I guess we can go sleep. And let's see if we can get some work done. Okay. Although I should... Oh, what? Got damaged? I do need a bath. I won't get it repaired here. Oh, wow. Time really flew by. I was planning on old Pagos. Maybe I should make the journey into the woods. Oh, well, maybe I'll go to Creeks. How much time do I have? Maybe I'll go to Creeks. Got that sign up. You know, the carpenter. Eastern Path. Place the sign just like you asked. He exhales and nods gently. Thanks, friend. I was thinking about it, and maybe a good opportunity for us to visit that mountain after all. There's a lot to talk about, and there will be even more in spring. Here. He hands you 2 dragon bones that you already held in the pocket of his pants. Glad to see you got your senses back. That sounds rude. No, I'll just take them. I'm surprised you keep finding something to do. This land really is a mess. I should know if there's anything else. I need to know what happened 10 years ago. Don't you trust me? Ooh, I could lean on that. Yeah, I've done pretty much everything I could think of. Everything you could think of. I do, Leto, I do. His voice is close to a whimper. But can't you see I'm in pain? I beg you, let me die with this shame. Aren't we friends? Shame? Why would you? His hands are clasped on his stomach, putting pressure on it, as if he's trying to stop some invisible bleeding. Stop it. Deal with your shame by being honest with me. Yeah, as your friend, if you keep running away from this, it's only going to haunt you. Whatever this is. Bites his lower, looks away. Troll piss and shit, Roadwarden. Fine. He stands up, pointing at you with his clenched fist, suddenly filled by a spirit you've never seen before. What do you want me to say? That I was there as well as my parents and parents of others from our village? That Thias wanted to make an example of Steep House and told us to either help her or to be next in line? He spreads his arms. I, the great uniter of the North. We went there with her myrmidons, left dust and hunger behind, and the beast herds came after us, angry for the burnt and choked trees. Too bad once that happened, no soul wanted to deal with the two-faced weasel. His voice cracks. We cut the flesh of innocence to save our own, and we got nothing from it. You flinch when he raises his hand and moves toward you, even though his gesture is not so much of an attack as a way for him to let out some of his fire. Seeing your reaction, he slows down, but that only makes his voice louder. You already knew all that, didn't you? You just had to test my last wits for your games? What, you'll think you'll take the blood from my blade and wake up that fucking boy? Other people in the yard cease their work and observe you. You hear a child crying. Damn. Let me see if I can parse this. I didn't know this. I was there as well as my parents and parents from other... I just wanted to make an example of Steep House. Left dust and hunger behind. Left dust and hunger behind. Too bad once that happened, no soul wanted to deal with that two-faced weasel. That's why everyone hates her. I raised my voice. I didn't know you killed anyone, Ella, but you're lucky that you faced no consequence, even if you deserved them. Now step away. I speak softly. You're a victim, not a villain. Thias would have struck them with or without you, and maybe kill you as well. But you're alive, and you try to put your life to good use. Try to stay quiet. I wasn't there. I have no clue what you went through. Maybe you deserve the pain, maybe not. I won't judge you. Yeah. I don't know. I can't say that. I can't say you're completely a victim. I can't relieve that guilt for you. But I'm not gonna stand here judging you. He looks at you through his tears and raises his head, absently staring at the clouds. You weren't there. My eyes and hands are cursed, but looks at the crowd, then at you again. They're not alone. He turns around and lurches into the building with his tools. The sad looks of others still follow you, but the life slowly returns to the small village of creeks. Okay. Steep House. Having discovered the truth, you could force the people of Halversdale to confront their past. While they may not take kindly to your threats and requests, the more you'll learn about their deeds and conflicts, the more tools you'll have to use against them. They'll listen to me at all. Gonna go see Ephron. Old Hava. Supplies. Could use another fish trap. Farewell. Shallow Creek. Alright, I should seek shelter. All the fish that I have is probably gonna go bad. No, I'm not gonna sell that. That might come in handy as a gift. 2 rations does cost less than 1 rent. We'll go with 2 rations. We're in a labyrinth of alleys in Steep House, which shifts after every step. You wander by the blooming gardens, burning houses, laughing newlyweds, cut off limbs, fresh hair pies, chewed bones, carts loaded with barrels and falling trees. You're sitting at a table in front of the Ape Ale Inn, surrounded by laughing skeletons. Dias, naked and covered in blood and ashes, holds your hand, forcing you to stuff your mouth with raw meat from a bottomless bowl. Every bite, tasting like the metal of an old key, burns your mouth, but you can't scream. The unyielding grasp brings pain and delight in equal measure, and you wouldn't dare to try to escape it. The smoke coming from your roasting flesh starts to fill your eyes, but they have no tears to spare. You wake and reach for a water skin so you can rinse the ash from your hand. It takes you a few heartbeats before you realize where you are. There's monsters. There's justice in this world that would face the gravest punishment. The villagers wouldn't have agreed to it if they knew that what was to come. Dias lied to them. She's the one who bears responsibility. Yeah, I really hate her. I've only seen one side of the story. I'm sure the people of Howlers felt they were justified. No. Dias being the villain all adds up. Does her daughter know this? Well, since I'm here, might as well eat. For me to go, travel. Let's go set up the trap. Trap is set up. Now we can go sell the fish at pelt. Or we can get rations by going to Halversdale. We're gonna have to cross to the ford anyway. I do have an ointment. You can test it. You open the ointment, getting hit by the unappetizing scent of lavender, mint, and basil. Apply a thin layer of balm to your open skin, as well as to a few spread out spots on magenta. You hope the smell won't stay for long. You carry on. The swarm notices you right away, gliding at you like a dark boulder, but before you collide with it, it shatters, forming a tunnel in the middle. Though buzzing even louder than before, you extraordinarily resilient gnats still sit on your horse's back, so you try to throw them off. Okay, well, riding through here might be easier now. Halversdale. Alright, gossip a bit, enter the village. Do what I've learned about Steep House. No, I think I still need to gather information. Taylor might be able to help me out here. Fancy clothes again. 2 days of work to get the fancy dress. 23 coins. I guess I don't have anything else to spend it on. I don't think. Takes her almost half an hour to measure you, cut examples of fabric for later use, and show you the colors you want to choose from. Finally, you're both ready, and with a heart heavier than you expected, you count down all the dragon bones she asked for. Be back here in 2 days or later. She shoves them all into a wooden box. I'm getting to work right away unless you need anything else. Oh no, that's it. I don't think people are going to be more willing to trust me if I look good. Say hi to Elpis. Oh no, I'm not looking for healing. I can go say hi to old Pagos. A massive flock of white and orange birds is circling above the hill, casting a shadow on the plateau. Knock on the gate a few times, but for a minute or two no one comes. Finally, it opens, with Tertia standing in the center. See a hint of smile in her brown eyes. It's good to see you again, Leto. I have a delicate matter to discuss. It's about the necromancer of White Marshes. It is, but I wonder what this will bring about. You don't go far with your explanation before Tertia trips in. Talking about a raid? Such decisions belong to the entire tribe. Wait here. After a few minutes, a small crowd gathers beneath the gate, and an old man encourages you to start from the beginning. Trying, but the locals are eager to argue with each other, often interrupting you. Because of their heavy accents, you struggle with the following their debate, but you catch the tribe's anger, fear, and shame. Finally, a vote takes place. Raised hands in silence, an older woman clears her throat, addressing you without approaching the peephole. Shadows fill those who awaken the dead, no matter their reasons, and yet there's no wickedness greater than the intrigues of Tyus, the traitor. We don't trust the other tribes, and we've got to endure our own isolation. We won't help you, Warden, but we will also not stop you. The brown-eyed woman returns to the gate, giving you a vigilant look as she adjusts her armor. Be careful around the people of Howlers. Her voice is hesitant, but she looks straight into your eyes. There are venom fangs behind that mask. Oh, I've noticed. I don't know how much the village itself is part of. It feels like it's mostly Dias. Does her daughter know? She waves at you from a distance, her voice is bright. Good to see you alive! Oh, better than seeing me walk through here dead. I know what happened to Steep House. Would you like to learn the truth? Her hands squeeze her bow, her eyes are keen. After a gentle nod, you tell her what you've learned. Tears well up in her eyes even before you finish, but she stares at you intensely, trying to catch a hint of a lie, something to grab on before she puts her trust in her tale. In the end, she scratches the sand with her foot, lowering her head. Then she covers her eyes. Shame on them. Shame on my Das, and on me for I asked nay questions. Before you respond, she enters her hut for a minute, then returns with fresh water dripping from her face. While her eyes are red, she holds her bow with determination. 'Tis better to know the truth. I planned to return home 1 year, but now I do not know. If I do, I will be heard. Well, I just thought I'd tell you. Time for me to leave. Oh no. Can't get there before nightfall. Damn. Right through the open gate, this will dismount. 2 red-haired twins are weeding a flower garden. A field worker walks by you, coughing loudly as he tries to open his water skin. Weeding at this time of night? I should go sleep. See what Eric's can do with the fish. Another fish to sell. Let's say 3. Thanks. Can offer my services. Do need to build up my coins again. Ah, dang it. Alright, let's get this fixed. Over to Steep House. Wash myself. Put on my clothes. See the trap. I'm too late. Trap again. Now. Let me go say hi to the elder. Whose name I still don't know. A trail of black ants is crossing the road, carrying leaves, dried blades of grass, and little sticks. The old man shuts the door with a resonant thud. What do you need, traveler? Hurt. I'd like to collect my reward. I am hurt, but no, that's fine. Just thought I'd see if I can get any more information of Steep House out of you. Hell to the north. Maybe the innkeeper I can get something out of. Approach the guards, do some axe throwing. Enter the inn. Innkeeper. I guess I can't. It's about Orentius. Show me your wares. Spend some on rations. I won't say else. That's fine. We gotta save up the coins again, don't we? Any leftovers? Fantastic. That worked out. Push the cards, do some axe throwing. Maybe I can find out from... Ooh. The guards. Right about the goblins. It's done. Most of the goblins are dead. Some are back in the forest. The loot wasn't that great, she sighs. Though maybe we missed something under all the feces they left behind. Well, thanks to some magic, our wounded are fine. She pushes her hair away from her neck. But I still think the place should be burned. Oh, well, I was hoping to find some evidence of something. Negotiate the price for help at High Island. Now's not the time. Into the inn. Maybe Quintus? No. Pyros? Julia? Okay, nope. Guess they don't need to hear the news. Maybe I can get more information out of monastery would help. Odysseia. Let's go find out if she'll know anything. The yard. Go inside. Oh, that was the first time I've been inside. The ship was meant to have only one dweller, but even in Havlavin, it would be seen as outrageously tiny. The air carries the scent of sweat and dirty clothes, but more importantly, smoke. A couple of fish and other pieces of meat are hanging above the hearth, even though there's no fire left. Odysseia is sitting on the floor, with her back leaning against a wooden step, legs outstretched, feet resting on a wooden pillar. She's staring intensely at an inkwell placed right in front of her. I guess I'll greet her. She nods but doesn't look at you. The house is a mess. If it bothers you, complain to the broth I made. A long pause. Take a seat if you want. It's getting chilly outside and you don't act like a bandit so far. When you place the crash, stay in my shed. Just don't carry any candles inside. I store hay there. Oh. Thanks, I appreciate it. I sit down as far away from her as I can on the stool. I sit next to her on the floor. I place near the fireplace. I guess I would sit next to her. I feel like that's appropriate. She nudges you with an elbow. Just don't get weird. So what'd you want? Is this a... I'm gonna ignore that. For her work in the city. Maybe it's the right time to offer her work in the city. Oh, what can we trade about? It's just a spirit rock. Glance at her absent eyes. She has shown you signs of trust, but you won't convince her with just a smile. The more you'll learn about the peninsula, the more arguments you'll have at your disposal. Okay. I guess it would be nice. I would see her more often. Who knows, she might like it. Maybe I can use this information in Gale Rocks. And then we can head to the monastery. Okay. Oh, you don't need a bath. Alright. Boat maker? No. Petronius? No. Cook? No. Taylor? Also no. Maybe I can get something out of the head wound? No. But I need to figure out collaboration with the bandits. That probably means going to see Glacia. Alright, I think I can make it to Howler's Dell. Then wait. And then sleep. Offer my services to the guards. No, I think it's best we spend as much time making our way through here. Into the woods. This time, Magenta will be much more prepared. Okay, into the woods. The gate unlocked on both sides takes little effort. Travel to the other edge of the woodland, into the cairn in the middle of the forest. Other edge of the woodland and the cairn. I guess I would go to the cairn. We approach the monkey's territory. The dwellers are even louder than last time, and a few dared to jump on the ground. First rocks are flying towards you. 2 peer-sized shots and the crossbow should be enough to discourage them. I should have asked how to deal with monkeys. Now cover our heads with the shield. That should protect us. You right through the avalanche of missiles, and while the eyes and foreheads of both you and your pal are covered, you both experience some painful hits as you move forward. Thankfully, the monkeys don't chase you for long, and after maybe a minute, they stare at the edge of their home, only yelling at you. Take a few deep breaths, knowing to myself that I should clean my shield if I pass any streams. We're here. Oh, we're here. Only bear gets startled by the clopping of hooves and flees among the trees on all fours. Turns head twice and you an upset roar. Lumberjack Lumberjack Hamlet. I almost said Hammerjack Lambert. Lumberjack Hamlet. Let's check it out. Soon after the path widens a bit, you notice a shell larger than your own torso. Its 8 legs, or as long as you are tall, cling to a tree that's on your way. Trees. The dark hairy thorax matches the browns of the plants. I almost didn't catch that. Let's examine the spider. Tree? The trees are young and lush, hardly reaching above the undergrowth and canopying the trail. The fallen twigs and branches were pushed off the trail. Okay. Spider. It's large enough to hunt for humans. Its 8 legs are as long as you are tall. Clinging to a tree on the way. The dark hairy thorax matches the browns of the plants. Okay, I need to handle monkeys and spiders. Okay, we went south. The meadow is vibrant. You should keep your eyes open for another flesh-eating worm. With the flower for alien. Didn't I already get that? Oh, extra snake bait, I guess. After a few minutes among the grasses, you move uphill to get a better view, and it just happens to be the spot where the orange tulips grow. They don't resist your knife. Okay, you're by the cairn. It's right to a different part of the forest. Let's go west. Let's go back and learn how we can handle a spider. Just cover our heads. Oop, nope, I don't want to enter the woods. Ah, damn it. No, I want to go back. Pull out your shield at the side, but to your surprise, your ride goes mostly undisturbed. A couple missiles fall on your cover or hit Magenta, who snorts with frustration. Other than that, you're safe. You get to the other side of the troops' home in no time. And while the monkeys stay loud, they don't pursue you anymore. Huh, maybe they got used to my presence. Okay, I need to go back to the gate. Find a new segment of the road, which seems to be shorter, but you need to cover some distance on foot. Cutting the dried out branches, the tree crowns have been merciless, hardly any ferns and grasses have managed to survive in the shadows. You spot a 10-year-old dark tree that's about twice your height, yet looks like a sapling when compared to the giants around it. Its thin branches are leafless, hanging like the limbs of an exhausted worker. Around the tree there's a dead red boar, too large for you to lift it. Its tusk could be worth a few coins, but scavengers may show up in a moment now. Well, since I'm already here. Examine the area. The tree is a bit far away from the other weak or dead plants. You walk around it and spot a bloodstain on the trunk, near the only hollow. Sounds like a person screaming. You don't notice any wounds on the boar, at least not from a distance, but also no signs of any illness. It's not young, its heart could have just stopped working. Along this tree, with a fistful of withering dust, I approach the trunk. Could not be a tree. It's been a few good minutes observing the tree. Even a stronger gust of wind doesn't move the tree's thin branches. Let's approach with a fistful of withering dust. Tie the Magenta to a heavy fallen branch. Lower its head and snorts with disapproval. Grass here is too sparse to be grazed on. You approach the gloves and the dust. The water skin may wait. You reach the trunk and its branches reach towards you. I knew it! The creature doesn't roar or howl, but the movements of its limb let out wood-like creaks. They are as nimble as the tentacles of a sea monster. You jump away, but the tree ant grabs your shell mid-air. You throw the dust forward, but there's nothing for you to aim at. Damn. Lifts you up, holding your stomach and chest. Its skin is like a rock. The beast pulls you toward itself, brutally swinging you around. You're dizzy, but you notice that the roots have also started to move. You're already holding your axe, led by your instincts. What do you think? Cut branch. Okay. Strike branch. Alright. Slash branch. Arm? Strike roots? What do you mean? Cut. You make an awkward swing and hit one of the limbs, but it's like hitting a wall made of stone. You don't even leave a crack. The branches painfully squeeze your stomach and surround your legs. They constantly move, scratching your clothes and skin. The tree ant moves you closer to what you thought was a hollow, but is now opening its eyelid-like shutters. You can smell its gastric juices and previous meals. Okay. Cut. Cut. Make an awkward swing, one of the limbs. This is the same thing. The tree ant sticks your shoulders into its mouth. Its bowels are almost empty, with bones and flesh swimming in a soup of beast organs. From the side, the creature's shell seems to be soft, moving, pulsating, and covered with short pink sparse hair. Okay, attack inside. Ah! Strike! That's the only thing I can do! As the creature loosens its grip, you use all your strength to lean forward and take a swing, sinking the blade in the flesh. A stream of blood squirts from the fresh cut. The creature pulls you out and throws you away like a splinter. During your fall, your ribs, leg, and neck suffer from each move. You grasp for air, almost choking on your own spit. Prepare myself for the landing. You crash into the ferns, rescued by your armor, then get up slowly, still holding your axe. The tree has turned away from you, swinging its upper limbs in panic. The roots move in a couple directions at once, holding the beats in a single spot. After a breath or two, they crawl away from you, each one of its own rhythm or lack thereof. The beast may be slow, but pays little attention to any obstacles. It either tramples them or gets out of the way with a single swipe. Damn. My weapon, loosen my armor to take a deep breath and approach the boar. That's what I came here for anyway. Its stomach has been crushed and still bears marks left by the branches. You push the stiff bristles, and the broken ribs offer no resistance. The flesh doesn't stink, but it's likely old. The only thing of value are the creature's large tusks, each resembling a stone sickle. Gruesome work, maybe worth a coin. Put on your thick gloves, grab the axe, prepare the knife, and get right to removing the boar's jaw. It requires some chopping, but also precision. There's not much blood, as it's most likely already filled up the beast's stomach. Once you get to the bones and teeth, you brutally remove both pairs of tusks. Their bases won't be pretty, but you don't have time and space to carry the entire jaw around and boil it for hours in a cauldron. Alright, well, I'll wash them later. And my gloves, too. Finally, we're out. No, I don't want to enter the woods. Just made that mistake again. Let's go to Howler's Down and rest. First, we need to prepare this. Oh, you have your clothes? Oh, my clothes? She nods toward her house, and you walk inside, finding your outfit prepared on a chair. Put it on, a bit afraid it will tear right away, but once you're done, it feels both comfortable and strange, as your shell is covered with the costume of rich folk. You show the tailor, and she spares you a gentle smirk. Well, well, now go out there and do the best my work. Appreciate it. Your fancy outfit covers the torn clothes. Yeah, I should get washed up. Go to the main square. Approach Eric's. Do rations. Get a bath. Oh, I need the coins. Let's go to Steep House. See if we have any fish. You can wash myself while we're here. I wonder how I get the last bit. To the trap, had any luck? Alright. Let's travel. Pell to the north. Force the guards, do some axe throwing. Great. Now, need knowledge about wild creatures. Well, Leto, she chuckles. For you, it's 5 dragons. I'm going lower. The others would give me weird looks. Give her 5 dragons. I think that's cheaper than last time. Fine. Takes the coins with a smile. We can start whenever you want. Alright. Been to the watchtower northeast from here and is crawling with bugs. Already handled that. Sure thing. They follow banded food. I hate the fat roaches. They give me the creeps. She twirls her hair nervously. They don't like smoke, so they stay away if people live in a place during spring and autumn, but they're also scared of some herbs. Maybe asking white marshes for a bomb? Worst thing that can happen is that you'll find one of the 100-legged ones that was larger than your boot, but they mostly stay near tall grass. Maybe they won't get inside. Okay, another creature. I thought it was gonna be 5 for each, which is nice that it's not. Should be afraid of the local apes. She takes a deep breath, shifts her weight to her left leg, puts her right hand on her waist. Oh, could I tell you stories? A short chuckle. It ain't as bad now as it used to be. What's left are mostly the monkeys. They're not much of a threat if you stay away from their land, but they throw out things at whatever they're afraid of. Once they get used to you, they'll leave you alone. At least one of the many families that live in these forests. Ah, that makes sense. She twirls her hair, thinking. There's a couple of dangerous apes, though. They ain't to be ignored. We've seen at least one fried ape. You know what that is? The gray one with muscle this big. She makes vague gestures around her arms covered by a gambeson. If it attacks you, it knows it can easily squeeze you to death. Can't fight it, Leto. All you can do is run away. Alright, run away. Apes and monkeys. She takes a deep breath, shifts her weight to her left leg. Oh, we already talked about this. Are many beast folk around? I don't think I've seen one. Ah, she lets out a hiss. Ain't gonna lie, they're too weird. Each one is different. 2 of them, one deer head and one bear folk, try to steal a rabbit from our trap. We outnumbered them, so they just grunted for a bit and withdrew. But you know the old tales. Bring the offerings, meat and whatnot. Maybe they'll be kind to you. Something they won't find in the woods. Or food touched with Numa. And if you were asking just about the gnolls, who cares about them? They can barely bite your hand. You see a dozen of them? Run before they knock you down. You see 2? Just chop the heads off. They ain't magical. That I can tell you for sure. And they're dumber than wolves. Okay. Can't always run away from dragonlings. How do you deal with them? Chuckles. Put your horse to use and flee. Most of them are west of here. May stay away when we move in large groups, but oh, do they look around. If you really have to fight them, they attack all at once, so you won't make it when outnumbered, and you won't outrun them on foot. Hide up a tree if you're alone, and if not, be sure that everyone in your group has a decent weapon. Getting through their skin is tough, unless you find kobolds, you know. Those that are knee-high, they're not too dangerous. They won't try to hunt down a human, maybe if they're starving. Okay. You really have to fight them, they attack all at once. You won't make it when outnumbered. You won't outrun them on foot. Hide up a tree. Okay, let's ask another. You ever hunt down a dragon? Yeah, we haven't. We hadn't tried to get close to any of them, not once. Bones are fine and all, but you know what's better? Stand in one piece. As long as they don't storm our inn, I'm just fine watching them across the sky, listening to their roars. They don't care about humans all that much. We're too small for their jaws, and it's not easy for them to get through our clothes and equipment. They do destroy villages if they feel like it. I wish I could have a voice like they do. Whenever they roar, birds take off and the wild game either flees or plays dead. Could be a handy little trick. You know, like this. She looks around and opens and closes her mouth a couple of times as if she's considering making a roar of her own. Finally, she glances at her companions and gestures for you to go on. No, I want to hear this. Let's talk about another beast. Okay, I don't expect to find a lot of people who live in caves here. Should I expect any corpse eaters? They're not around. There ain't many travelers in settlements here, so they can't feast on humans alone. Last time I saw the claw marks, when was it? A year or so ago? When we placed traps in the northeast near the old watchtower. They stay away from the heart of the forest, so all that remains is the far east. At least they don't move in large packs. Dalit seems to be lost in her thoughts, and suddenly she points at your blade. You can handle at least one of them with that axe of yours. Just give it all right away. Hurt the beast even slightly, cut its arm or something, and it's going to run in panic. They're deadly cowards. Alright. Oh, there's a lot to get through. Any weird creatures getting close to the settlements? I can't say for the villages, but none of them come to our walls. The badgers, foxes, wolverines, and others like that stay in the burrows or in the ruins if there are no goblins around. You don't hunt for furs, I expect. Seeing her shrug, she goes on. If they bother you, you can bother them back from time to time. Scare them off, you see. Show them their home ain't safe anymore, and they'll look for another one, much less bloody than a fight with the whole pack at once. Okay. Any gargoyles? They stay with the trees and shrubs of the thickest in the heart of the forest, most likely, waiting for something to get close. Then they jump, ready to bite their prey's head. The oldest one I've seen looked like a small dragon. Could swallow you whole. What you need to do is keep an eye on the tree crowns, or maybe the thicket next to the road. When a gargoyle prepares to strike, their eyes get red, almost shiny. That's when you need a damn crossbow and shoot right into it. Don't use spells, though. It won't do any good. Alright. Gargoyle I've seen is a fake one. Any goblin packs I should be aware of? We finished off some of the packs, but they travel all around, move the camps every now and then. Expect them anywhere. If you see a single creature, turn back. Its family's just nearby. If you really want to hurt them, take care of their home. Sink it, ruin it, burn it. Whatever you do with it, they'll move away. They need to hide from monsters just like we do, so they won't stay around. Okay, let's talk about another beast. Maybe you know something about golems? Yeah, how does one kill a magical being? Well, they protect their owners, so it ain't really something I'd hunt down, you know? She brushes away the hair from her forehead. Oh, you ain't playing around. Well, let me think. They ain't a single hole. She puts her left arm on her right shoulder and pulls it. I don't understand it fully, but I think it's a bit like with the undead. The more parts of the shell you remove, even for a time, the more magic gets to waste. As if it returns to the air? She shrugs and returns to her previous stance. Make a trap, try to hold it, then pull. A rope may work. Don't try to stab it or smash it with a hammer. You can't harm them. She looks at the boar. Or maybe you could just kill their owner or move them far away. It's possible to order golems around from a great distance. It confuses them. Well, hopefully I won't have to use that information. I met a bunch of annoying griffins on my way here. The noble griffins? But they don't live here. It's too close to the ocean. They can't compete with the flying beasts, so they only hunt at dawn. Oh, or do you mean the scrubs? Those are everywhere. Try to scare them off, like from a large distance, or by wounding them before they get into position. In a place like this one, they won't starve, but there's a lot of game around. I wouldn't expect them to hunt for human flesh. What's the difference between a scrub and a griffin? Okay. May harpies pose any problem? Yeah, I need to know about harpies. Are you going to find them? There should be none in these woods. The thicket is much too dense, and you know, they're cowards. She simultaneously smiles and shrugs. How much of a threat can they be? If you have to travel where they live, just be sure to have a few guards with you. They won't attack a group of humans, or take a crossbow, or spells. Good to know. Another beast. Tell me about howlers. I ain't heard about someone studying them, you know. Those shouts, she cups her hands around her mouth, are like spells that will make you sick. All it takes is, a minute or so. Maybe a single one won't be a threat, but they're never alone. You'll see packs of them in the north, and you better stay away from them. I'll be sure to have as many ways to keep them scared of you as you can. If they ain't afraid, they ain't gonna let you live, and will devour you right away if to deafen you. And my plan is to not let them deafen me. It's worked before. What do you know about the local hunt lords and hunt queens? Is there any ruler yet? Yeah, I don't find it more. The latest queen has ruled for maybe 5 years now. Our watchmen say it saw it a couple times. It's tall and has red and silver fur. I recognize its howling anywhere, but please don't tell me you plan to look for it. Looks at you with worry. No human can harm such a being. If it decides it wants you, the best thing you can do is abandon your palfrey and hope it looks tasty. Magenta? No. The hunt lords rarely strike before dusk, so who cares? Stay in the sunlight like the rest of us. And that might not be something I can stick to. How should I handle the runners? They keep sneaking among the trees, waiting for me to get off Magenta. Well, they ain't as bad as dragonlings, you know. At least you can make a roast out of them. You outrun them on a palfrey, but if you're on foot, don't even try. Don't hide up a tree, they jump way too high. Wings, you know. He waves her arms, imitating a flying bird. And remember, they strike with their beaks. If they miss, it takes time for them to try again. Be fast, be decisive, or... She hesitates. You can try to buy time by throwing some meat at it. But only if there's one of them, no more. What if I have multiple meats? What about large cats? You aren't going to do much about them, she strokes with a smile. The cats won't let you see them. They stalk their prey and jump when you least expect it. Like Slash, and its claws are on your neck. Have you seen how big they can get? The venomous gets twice as long as your horse. After you ask her if she's sure that there's nothing you can do to protect yourself, she twirls her hair. You could do something like if it's right in front of you, like if it ain't hunting. If you were smart, you'd stay away. Wait for the cat to move. But if you have to, I don't know, be calm, scared away, pretend you're large, she chuckles. What are the chances you'll ever be in such a situation? Yeah, what are the chances, right? Do many locals have issues with pebblers? There ain't that many forest gardens here in the north, so they sometimes show up out west. The Druids get rid of them, and the people of Olpegos have a pile of males and iron spearheads, so they know how to fight them off. I'd say there ain't much point in hunting them. You can't eat them or get a good pelt, and the bones are so hard you ain't going to sharpen one after even a day of work. Dragging the corpse away will take you hours, and dozens of hands. It's all a big waste of time. Better to just discourage them or just get them away. Alright, what's next? You prepare for Saurons when they come in so many shapes and sizes. At least not all of them eat meat. She spreads her arms. Those larger than this are the worst, but that's why you keep away from the ponds and lakes. They stay just at the bank, jump at whatever gets close, and you try to wash your hands, whoosh. She clasps her hands loudly. Snapped. Even worse than a horse. It will grab it by the leg, and you know how fragile they are, as good as gone. Those all gray are the big problem. All the meat humans. All gray, okay. And look at the tails. If they are thin and swing left or right, they can break your ribs. Tails, got it. I'm sure I'm going to find a spider or two in some of the local ruins. In fact, I have. Most of them are in the ruins and the very lush forests. They sit all by themselves in the webs waiting for critters that have lost their way. If you face them, watch out. The bites are, well, maybe not venomous, but they do something weird I can't describe. It melts your skin, and the legs are pointy like tiny spears. There's no point in finding them unless you're looking for spider silk. After you ask her how to get rid of such a creature, she struggles to find an answer. A really large one? Without a crossbow? A bow should do fine as well, but aim at the abdomen. Abdomen. A spear would be a good choice, and when it comes too close, switch to an axe or a mace. Or do you mean the smaller ones, like head size big? She measures an invisible spider with her hands. They often, I don't know, spit at the targets or something. You do not want to get hit with this web. Dodge it, or get blinded. Maybe jump away, when you can smash it with whatever you have at hand. Too late for that, right? Aim for spider's abdomen. Okay, let's talk about another beast. Where can I expect to encounter tree ants? Among the swamps in the heart of the forest? Probably in the heart of the forest. Just like you said, mostly in the swamps. Do you know how to spot them? They have no leaves and the branches are wide and long, and they catch birds and animals that get close to them. They use their food to bait other creatures. There may be some in the deep woods, but I don't think Magenta is going to take you there anyway. You'd be surprised if one of them catches you after all. Play dead. Don't try to free yourself. Just wait, or it's going to choke you or tear off your limbs. No, it sounds bad. Her voice stays serious despite her smile. But stay calm. It'll put you into its mouth. Only then you should strike. Its inside is smooth. Hit it with the blade. It may panic, then drop you. May. That's your moment to run. Happened to me once, you see. She puts one hand on her chest and another one on her side, as if posing for a sculpture. And I'm still here, but it's better to stay as far away as you can. Happened to me once too. How many trolls can I find here? Looks down. Those fatheads were causing other chaos across the entire peninsula, especially near the coast. Once they ate a forager from the tavern. We were hired to get rid of them. I thought they were gone for good. Let's hope that's true. What would you do with an undead? Maybe a group of them. She sighs. Yeah, I don't have any tricks for you. Chop them as many times as you can, like the priests and soldiers say. Crush their bones, cut off their limbs, surround them, outnumber them. Only the dumbest ones, those barely touched by the fox, can fall into a simple trap. But if you hurt them enough, the Numa leaves them. Don't ask me how that works. I don't think with necromancers. When you ask where you can find them, she points north. Well, White Marshes probably, but also in the deep woods. Surely looking to form a new band. Don't worry though, they won't catch Magenta. Good to know. You don't have to ask about unicorns. I doubt you'll face one anytime soon. There's a worry in her voice as she glanced at the wall. I only saw them a few times, from very far away. We don't hunt such large beasts, You ask her to think if there's anything interesting she noticed, and she takes a few breaths before she comes up with something. I hadn't seen more than one of them at once, I think. She asked a few other hunters, and while most of them agree, two people mention that unicorns mate in early spring, but even then, they don't hang around much. You know what they say. The unicorns crave flesh filled with Numa, but rarely hunt humans, are also only afraid of the largest beasts. Just the usual tales. Never even seen one. What about wolves? Are there any usual breeds around here? Like ones without hair? Ha! There's a lovely pack of red ones. Those just jump really far, and once they bite you, then they'll let go. Also some blue wolves. They spend their time spread around, but howl to one another when they find good prey. Trust me, don't even ever try to fight a pack. Their furs are valuable, even the gray ones, but the only way to hurt them is setting up a trap. They abandon those that can't be helped, but not the spotted wolves. They always try to help the wounded. After a brief moment, she carries on. But the furless wolves, those are the worst. They live alone, but are as dangerous as an entire group. Once you find one, you can't run away from it. You can't scare it off if it's not bleeding. You must stay brave, especially when it charges at you. It's going to jump, this high. She raises her hand to her neck. Duck beneath it as quickly as you can. Okay. Duck beneath furless wolf. Alright, that's all I need to know. Now, do I have time to get to... I do. Howler's Dell, I can stay for free. So I'm going to do just that. And tomorrow morning, we can try this again.